Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Network. And this movie is directed by Sidney Lumet, the same director as 12 Angry Men, Dog Day Afternoon. He also did The Verdict, and those are the only movies I've seen from him. I know he's done a bunch of other stuff that I haven't checked out yet, but this movie was supposedly highly regarded, and it stars Faye Dunaway. And I thought this movie was pretty great, and honestly, something that I was pleasantly surprised by. I wasn't expecting to like it this much. It was very well shot throughout, and it was always very nice looking. It had really great characters that were very well defined, and you think you get the main character right away from the film, then you realize, oh, there's quite a few characters, but eventually you do figure out who the main character kind of is, in a sense, even though there isn't really much of a main character without spoiling anything. I would say there's like a couple storylines that you follow through on, and the movie isn't really about having a main character. It's more or less exploring multiple different ideas and concepts. And I really love the choice to have no music in the movie, which added to the tension and allowed you to just get absorbed in everything. And it was such a unique and clever choice that I just really loved it. And I loved where the story went. It was never boring for me. It didn't feel slow for me. There are parts where I was more engaged than others, for sure. But the parts where I was slightly less engaged than those other parts, they were like little tiny moments. And it's like, yeah, I can kind of forgive that. And for the most part, it's a really engaging movie for me. I love how the movie opens up and just gets right into the story, and how it all gets started with the story, and just explores all these different things and how people view the news network and everything that comes along with that, all these different sides. What are we going to do? We can do this in a way that's very, for a lack of a better word, humane way of doing it, or just do this very cynically so we can get ratings and make more money. Which route are we going to go? And usually it's just cynical, and people just are looking at numbers and nothing else. And I do feel as though that's kind of like a reflection of people in this business. That's all they're really looking for. And there was never a point in this movie where I felt as though it ran out of ideas to explore, because the movie has quite a few characters, and each character does serve a purpose. And while some characters get more screen time than others, I didn't feel as though the movie lost track of what it was trying to do, or have a lack of focus of something to explore, if that makes sense, because of what it was doing. And the movie also kind of touches on things that are a big problem in the real world, and not just in this movie's universe, but in our own universe. Yeah, these are big problems, but the sad reality is that you can't really do anything about it, because that's just how things are. And that's the short version. If you want the long version, you watch the movie and get into these ideas into your head, and then you start to piece these different puzzle pieces together, and yeah, there's really no way out of this, which is kind of sad, unfortunately. And I really loved how this movie wrapped up. Without spoiling anything, I thought it was a great conclusion, because it just made sense to me as to their approach and what they were kind of going for. And at the very least, a lot of great movies, if not all great movies, it's best to not know much going into it, I feel. I know that was something that was said on Adam from Your Movie Sucks' review of Parasite when he reviewed that. But I do feel as though that's true. The less you know about something that's really great, the better your experience will be. So you can just experience a movie naturally and not be spoiled for anything. And I don't think I really spoiled anything in terms of where the plot goes, or at least that's something I try to avoid. But I do feel as though everything that this movie did story-wise, and when it came to the writing, just worked really well for the most part. And the acting was pretty great, and I never once felt as though I was watching an actor. I always felt as though I was watching a character on screen. And my only issue with this movie would be in the second half, and Keep in mind, I might not feel this way if I were to rewatch this movie, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do at some point. But from just my first viewing, I felt as though in the second half of this movie, I didn't really get a good understanding of passage of time all too well without characters having to say how much time has passed, because I just didn't really feel it all too well. Like, if characters didn't say how much time had passed, you wouldn't really know how far things have gone in terms of passage of time. And sure, that might be forgivable in some movies, but I do feel as though that was like a big part about this movie at the very least. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil as to why I feel that way, but I just felt as though that could have been improved a little bit. And that's about all I have to say about Network. Really great, loved it. One of my favorites from Sidney Lumet, and I will definitely be watching this movie again at some point. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Network a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Network, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Song of the Sea. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.